So, Jimmy, this season, things have gotten a lot more interesting. I mentioned earlier in the show, and thank you guys for checking it out here on YouTube as well as listening to the podcast. Make sure you share with your friends if you're on the YouTube that we have a podcast, wherever podcasts download and listen to. For those that are listening to the podcast, check us out on YouTube. You can see our facial expressions and stuff, as well as my t-shirts. I always got something cool on. Jimmy, I mentioned earlier that this season has been interesting because we really don't know who the favorite is. The teams are losing to teams they shouldn't. Buffalo lost to Jacksonville. Arizona took a big L this past week. It's been like up and down everywhere you turn. So, I mean, hell, Washington beat Tampa Bay in a way that we didn't think that was going to expect it. So, it's a fun season. But with that, we've got teams that were good that are falling apart. So, Jimmy, I want to ask you, I have 5 free fallers. I want you to tell me which one of these 5 should be really concerned about their season.
Okay.
All right. Who should be concerned and who has a chance to bounce back? Here's your 5. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You just took that L. Arizona Cardinals. Just took that L. Baltimore Ravens. Just took that L. LA Chargers. Just took that L. Cleveland Browns. Just took that L. Out of those 5, which one season is done and they should be concerned, and which one can bounce back and still has a chance to do big things?
Okay, who has a chance to bounce back and do good things? Tampa. Tampa, last year, they went between weeks 9 and 13. They went 3-4. And then after that, didn't lose a game for the rest of the season, on the way to winning the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going to trust Bruce Arians. I mean, they've just gone through this. They've had a rough 2-game stretch. One against the Saints, divisional game, tough game. And then this game against Washington, who played them really tough last year as well.
Yeah.
So they've got some things that they have to shore up. I'm a little bit concerned about the injuries, though, because they have some injuries on offense that don't seem to be healing, like with AB and with Gronk. And I think Gronk not being there on this offense,
Godwin.
I think that hurts the most for Tom Brady, even if he has all of his receivers, to be honest with you. Because he's that safety blanket. He's the red zone threat. He's the one he's always had that instant chemistry with. So I think always having that in your back pocket on the field makes it a lot easier. He probably throws fewer interceptions if he has Gronk somewhere out there, knowing he's exactly where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there. And I am a bit concerned. I think Vita Vea got hurt as well. One of the best defensive tackles in the game. I don't know how serious. Hopefully is not much of anything. But I'm a bit concerned about that. But if there's anybody who can turn it around, still have a great season, and still finish strong, it is Tom Brady and this Buccaneers team, which is still loaded with talent. So to me, they're going to turn it around eventually. Even if they lose their next game, they're not going to lose to the Giants, first of all. But even if they don't win convincingly.
Hey, don't you.
Now, the Giants are going to play them tough. They are going to play them tough.
Don't you pretend like there's not a chance.
But Tampa's going to turn it around. They're going to be fine. As far as whose season is done, give me those names again. One at a time.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
The Chargers. The Ravens.
Hold on. Chargers, they're finished.
Ravens
are finished. Two bad L's. Was it Cincinnati and Miami? They're finished. They're still going to go to the playoffs, but they're finished. I hate that because Lamar was just rounding the corner when it comes to the pass game. And he still might even compete for an MVP, but they're finished. They're done. Yeah.
Cardinals.
Finished. Because Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, even when they come back, they're not going to be 100% for the rest of the season. And J.J. Watt, I mean, they really, really miss him on defense. He's not going to be there. He's out for the rest of the season. So they're finished too. Sorry, Cardinals fans, but they're finished.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm afraid to hear this one. The Cleveland Browns.
Finished. Baker Mayfield just keeps costing himself millions and millions of dollars. They're finished too. There's no juice on this offense. Now, they do have a bit of a chance once you get Nick Chubb back from COVID. I still think they would have lost this game against the Patriots, but it would not have looked like this if they had him toting the rock. But yeah, I think just Baker Mayfield, he's making so many of the critics that I don't want to be right, he's making them right.
Yeah.
And it's just a tough break, but yeah, they're finished.
Okay. So in my opinion, I agree with you on Tampa Bay.
Okay.
They were 11-5 last season. They'll probably be 12-5 this season, or 11-6.
Yeah.
Still win the South, so they'll win their division. So they will make the playoffs, and they'll just go on the road and beat everybody like they do. You don't bet against Tom Brady. I've learned this lesson since like 2015. You stop doing that. Because he is too determined to figure it out. And like you said, injuries is our biggest issue right now. Secondary, of course, is beat up. I disagree with you here, though. I don't think Gronk is the key component for him. I think Antonio Brown is a bigger one. It seems like they created a quick bond in New England to where when last year happened and then this year before he got hurt, they were like almost perfect together. Yep. I mean, besides AB dropping some passes he shouldn't have dropped and Brady had an occasional overthrow, they have a chemistry thing that's ridiculous. And of course, remember, Tom is used to Gronk being hurt because Gronk is, and it's no shade to Gronk. It's just that Gronk, as physical as he plays, he always end up nicked up. I mean, he had a couple of playoff runs where he didn't have him. So he had him during the season, built up everything. No Gronk, no problem. He went in and made it happen. I think the receiver running the routes is way more important to Tom than it is the tight end being available, especially with Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard being available on occasion. I think the Cardinals are fine too. I lied. I think the Cardinals are done as well. And this is the only reason why. This is what happened to them last year. They peaked. Injuries to Kyler, injuries to other position players. They tanked. Their defense is still solid, but the J.J. Watt piece is a little bit more concerning to me because I think that he is the anchor. Is Chandler Jones playing right now? I haven't checked to see
you remember
if he's
Chandler
playing.
Jones
He
asked
was
for a
hurt.
trade. He asked for a trade before the season started.
He did.
Remember that?
He asked for a trade before the season start. He decided to play. He was nicked up to start the season, if I'm correct. And so it's kind of a with the way that they're playing right now, and they've got Lyman out, and that's always a concern to have. Oh yeah, Chase Edmonds is now on the IR.
Yep.
So, but the good thing for them is that James Conner somehow found a fountain of youth, even though he's still young as hell.
Right.
Dominant. But the other three, I think the Ravens are fine. Their biggest problem is injuries. They have no health. They lost linemen. They've lost secondary. Everybody just keep running backs. Everybody just keeps falling out. And Lamar has to figure out how to pick up every piece of the puzzle and do it by himself. That is not a long-term sustainable solution. So hopefully they get some players back, or they pick up somebody, or somebody picks up the slack, and they'll be fine. They'll probably they're going to make the playoffs, but let me pull that back. I think you're right. They're going to not make it very far in the playoffs. Chargers are definitely done. They have fallen apart, and I have no clue why. None. And then, I don't know. Justin Herbert's just forgotten how to play football.
You know what's weird about that team is that their precipitous decline, began around the same time as Mike Williams. You remember Mike Williams, the receiver, in a contract year, started out looking like the best receiver in football, and he was for like that first 3 weeks.
The guy that you put on your fantasy roster, and all of a sudden he stops playing football.
There he is.
Yep, everybody picked him up. That's what it is. He got 100% rostered. As soon as he got 100% rostered, he decided to not play again. Yeah. Actually, it's not even just 100% rostered. He got 100% starts. And as soon as he got 100% starts, he forgot how to play football again because he was still probably in the 20s or 30s. I'm making this up, but I'm thinking that it feels like that's what happens.
And I don't get it. He's so talented. I don't get why. And this is supposed to be the season where he just finally breaks through. He's out of Clemson, right?
Yep.
And just, you said the exact same thing happens. I don't understand, but yeah.
It seems like there's something with the name Mike Williams because remember Mike Williams from USC? They ended up not playing
his senior
year, and he tried to go to the league early, and they told him, no, we're not going to let you go early. And then he went to the NFL, and we just forgot that he existed. It seems like that name Mike Williams is just not a good name to have when you're playing in the NFL. So if your name is Mike Williams and you're a wide receiver in college, change it to Michael or Mikey. Just go by something. Go by your middle name.
Mikael Williams.
Go by your middle name. Just get rid of the M in general. And hopefully your middle name is not L too. Yeah. But yeah, don't play as Mike because it feels like they just have a curse on them right now. But last one, Browns. Yeah, man. Baker Mayfield sitting at home watching Derek Carr with a $100 million contract, Jared Goff with a $100 million contract, trying to figure out why the hell can I get that? And it's unfair for us. It's fair to scrutinize the way he's playing, but it's unfair to look at him as if he doesn't play for the Cleveland Browns. He has been the most stable thing they've had outside of the running game. Hell, I can't remember. Since when?
From a quarterback position?
Yes.
Since, one season of Derek Anderson?
And I don't even think that was very stable.
No, that doesn't count.
But you have to give Mayfield those props, that they look like a better NFL team, but at the same time, he's making mistakes. Is he long-term answer? To be honest, they need to go ahead and just extend him and keep him. I think if they build up a defense, he can do enough to not ruin it. And the second thing about him, and this is the key component about it, I think their offense needs to make some changes. I think they need to get out of this timing offense and trying to force his accuracy and start letting him kind of freestyle more. I don't feel like he freestyles. I think he literally follows everything by the book, and I think that's a problem. Now, that's just my personal opinion. I may be wrong. All the analysts out there that break down film, you may see something different.
Yeah, Greg Cosell might agree or disagree with you.
Exactly, but I don't know. I had to ask the PFF guys what they think about your boy Baker when it comes to that portion. So.